Good evening and welcome to Kini News. The government has announced that they will not implement a total economic lockdown to battle the COVID-19 pandemic, as this would affect the poor and also small businesses. Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob has reassured the public that Putrajaya will not shut down the economy when implementing the movement control order. He said this as the move will be detrimental to small businesses and could adversely affect petty traders. Ismail said the government had decided on this to strike a balance between lives and livelihoods, although there were calls from various quarters to shut down the economic sector to curb the spike in COVID-19 cases. According to Ismail Sabri, petty traders and roadside traders had said that it would be tough for them if they are not allowed to operate during the MCO period. He added that the government has to protect the economic interests of the poor, especially the B40 group. Ismail also said that while it is important to protect the people from COVID-19, the government also has to ensure that they can earn a living. He said if they had to close their stalls, it would have a big impact on them as they are living from hand to mouth. He also reminded the public to always follow the standard operating procedures to break the COVID-19 chain of infection. And now we'll take a look at the latest COVID-19 figures in Malaysia in this segment brought to you by Blue Air.
Malaysia recorded 4,214 new COVID-19 cases today, with 9 of the cases imported. The Klang Valley reported the highest number of new infections, with Selangor reporting 1,362 new cases and Kuala Lumpur with 702. This was followed by Johor with 1,068 new cases, Sabah with 276 cases, and Perak with 193. There are 316 patients in the intensive care, with 137 requiring ventilator support. 10 new deaths were also reported today, taking the national death toll to 770. Meanwhile, Health Ministry Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said that Malaysia is expected to receive the first batch of Pfizer and BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine on February 26. He said, once the vaccines arrive, they'll be distributed in stages to the states within a week or two.
Kulai MP Teo Nie Ching has called on the Perikatan Nasional government to change its strategy against COVID-19 to a more proactive one. Now, if you like the news that we produce, check the link in the description below and make a small donation to help Kini TV bring you more quality content.
Kulai MP Teo Nie Ching has called on the Perikatan Nasional government to be more proactive in dealing with COVID-19 in the country. In a joint statement with General Practitioner Dr. Goh Ait Ping today, Teo said that it should be very obvious by now that declaring an emergency was pointless as it does not stop COVID-19 cases from increasing. She said the Health Ministry and the National Security Council needs to drastically improvise on contact tracing methods in terms of speed and urgency, as more people are carrying the virus now. And a lack of efficiency in this area will lead to the spreading of the virus to a point where we would not be able to control. Teo and Goh offered several suggestions to do this. Among them was to deploy the armed forces to help with contact tracing and check compliance with home surveillance order by calls and regular messaging. To authorize general practitioners in the private sector to issue quarantine order or home surveillance orders. Implement extensive COVID-19 screening using the RTK antigen test for those with symptoms, those living in vulnerable areas, vulnerable age groups, as well as close contacts to positive cases. To have all close contacts presumed as a positive patient until proven otherwise, and have them undergo immediate home quarantine and undergo COVID-19 screening test. And to develop a standard nationwide database and system which allows GPs to regularly update patient data, health conditions, quarantine status, and discharge matter into the system. They also suggested that the government ensure all COVID-19 assessment centers operate 7 days a week during the week, and to improve their 24-hour hotline management to ensure assistance and information are easily accessible.
At the time of recording, 14 people have been arrested in connection with an armed gang fight that took place in Cheras. Police have arrested 14 men as at noon today in connection with a clash between two armed gangs at Taman Juara Jaya, Cheras yesterday. In a statement, Selangor Criminal Investigation Department Chief Fadzil Ahmad said the department, together with the Kajang and Serdang District CID, launched an integrated operation to track down the remaining suspects. A video recording of the clash, which has gone viral, showed a group of men armed with parangs attacking another group. According to Fadzil, the motive for the incident was over control of drug sales territory between the two gangs. He added that the Selangor CID has identified several other individuals who could assist investigations into the case. Earlier today, Kajang District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Zaid Hassan said that police received an emergency call on the incident at 6:37 p.m. yesterday. 3 cars were abandoned by the suspects or victims at the scene. He added that 2 victims are being treated currently at the hospital and are in stable condition. The case is being investigated under Section 326 of the Penal Code for voluntarily causing grievous hurt by dangerous weapons and Section 148 of the same code for possessing weapons and rioting. Former Deputy Defense Minister Liew Chin Tong was among the leaders who condemned the military coup in Myanmar early this morning, which saw the arrest of Aung San Suu Kyi and other leaders of her National League for Democracy party.
Former Deputy Defense Minister Liew Chin Tong has spoken out against the reported military coup in Myanmar. He told Malaysia Kini that he was deeply concerned at the reports that Aung San Suu Kyi and key National League for Democracy leaders had been detained by Myanmar military authorities. And although he disagreed with her handling of the Rohingya crisis, a civilian government elected through elections should be defended. He said, military coups of any kind must be condemned as this is against the wishes of the people of Myanmar. Liew also called on the 2 major powers, United States and China, to work together to prevent a major democratic regression. He said that it should be the first act of US-China collaboration under the new administration of US President Joe Biden. His statement came after Reuters reported that Myanmar's military seized power on Monday in a coup against the democratically elected government of Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi. She was reported to have been detained along with Myanmar President Win Myint and other leaders of her NLD party in early morning raids.
And that's all the news for this evening. For more stories, go to KiniTV.com. We also post the latest headlines to our social media on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So follow us there to get the latest news as well. Remember to wear your mask if you're going out, and if you can, do stay at home. It's going to be a lonely Chinese New Year, but we'll weather this storm together. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, Malaysia.